The King and the Beggar. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far, far away, there lived a great king. He was loved by his people and respected by his allies. His reign was a time of peace and prosperity. And all who lived in the kingdom were grateful for his leadership. One day, as the king was walking through the streets of his kingdom, he saw a beggar sitting by the side of the road. The beggar was dirty and ragged, and he looked as though he had not eaten in days. The king felt a great sense of compassion for the beggar and decided to approach him. "Dear sir, why do you sit here alone and hungry?" the king asked. "I am a beggar, Your Majesty," the man replied. "I have nothing to my name, and I must beg for my survival." The king was taken aback by the man's response. He had never before encountered someone who was so resigned to their circumstances. He decided to take the man under his wing and teach him the ways of the kingdom. The king brought the beggar to the palace and provided him with food and clothing. He taught him how to read and write, and he showed him the wonders of the kingdom. The beggar was amazed by all that he saw, and he was grateful to the king for his kindness. Years went by, and the beggar became a trusted advisor to the king. He had learned much from the king and had become a wise and learned man. The king was proud of the beggar and was grateful for his help and guidance. One day, a neighboring kingdom declared war on the king's kingdom. The king knew that he must act quickly to defend his people, and he turned to the beggar for help. "Dear friend, I need your help," the king said. "I must lead my army into battle, but I need someone to advise me on the best strategies." The beggar was hesitant at first. He had never been in battle before, and he was not sure that he was the right person to help the king. But the king was insistent, and he convinced the beggar to help him. The beggar threw himself into the task with great zeal. He studied maps and battle plans, and he worked tirelessly to devise the best strategies for the king's army. When the day of the battle arrived, the beggar stood at the king's side and advised him on every move. The battle was long and difficult, but the king and his army emerged victorious. The king was grateful to the beggar for his help, and he decided to reward him for his service. "Dear friend, you have served me and my kingdom well," the king said. "I would like to offer you a position in my court as a nobleman." The beggar was surprised by the king's offer. He had never imagined that he would one day become a nobleman. He was grateful to the king for his kindness, but he felt that he could not accept the offer. "Your Majesty, I am grateful for your offer, but I must decline," the beggar said. "I am a beggar at heart, and I would not feel comfortable living the life of a nobleman. But I will always be here to serve you and your kingdom in any way that I can." The king was disappointed by the beggar's response, but he respected his decision. He knew that the beggar was a humble man who valued his freedom above all else. He decided to grant the beggar his freedom and allow him to live his life as he saw fit. The beggar was grateful to the king for his generosity, and he continued to serve him and his kingdom for many years to come. He was a reminder to all who knew him of the power of education and the potential for greatness in everyone, regardless of their circumstances. He had risen from the lowliest of positions to become one of the most respected advisors in the kingdom, and he had done it all through the power of education. The king, too, had learned a valuable lesson from the beggar. He realized that true success was not measured in titles or positions, but in the impact that one had on the world around them. The beggar may have remained a humble man, but his contributions to the kingdom were immeasurable, and he had earned the respect and admiration of all who knew him. And so, the king and the beggar continued to work together for the betterment of the kingdom, each bringing their own unique talents and perspectives to the table. They had learned that true success was not achieved through wealth or power, but through hard work, determination, and a willingness to learn and grow. In the end, the king and the beggar were both remembered as great leaders who had left a lasting impact on their kingdom. Their story serves as a reminder of the power of education to transform lives and the importance of humility and compassion in achieving true success. The end.